Welcome back to the Stanley Parable 2, not Ultra Deluxe. Just gonna do a quick one this round, because just had like an itch to just play it real quick, because I was reading through some of the trophies, so I figure I can go ahead and do a couple of them. This one is an interesting one. Just gonna do a little bit of this, gonna do a little bit of that. So, if you were watching earlier, I was talking about that there's this door that didn't open. It was called the Settings Champion, and it kind of bugged me that we didn't get to see it get to do anything, and I found out it's a trophy. So what I'm supposed to do is just literally mess with every aspect of the settings. God, I hope I got this right. Yep. Oh my god. This is exhausting. What was it? I don't even remember. Crap, I don't even remember where I left it at. That's fine, whatever. Okay. That's one. Yeah, this is very tedious. Like, so tedious right now.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Oh, this.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Come on, baby. Yeah, I think it said that you just have to move. You just have to hit every number. But I saw other places suggest to just do the whole thing. Is that what that is? Interesting. Okay. So I think I did it. I assume I did it. That was everything. I feel like I touched everything, so we'll see. Or do you think I was supposed to do that in the game and not on the menu? God, I sure hope not. Yeah, the trophy would have popped up by now.
This is the story.
Oops. Oh. I should just mess with the sliders, but I'm pretty confident it's gonna have to be everything. There it is. You see that? Alright, there you go. Got that one.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yes.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office.
I need
but it didn't make a
one more
difference,
input.
Nor
Right,
did
watch
it
this.
advance the story
See if I can
in
do
any
it here.
way.
Can I do it? Can I do it? No? Wonder why. Might be later. I don't know. Apparently you can jump out through this window. It's not that. I'm pretty sure it's that one, but we'll see if there's another area. Oh. I'm gonna have to take the bucket.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
It's the bucket, everyone.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Oh, so I gotta look for trophies. I already found a few of them through some gameplays. There'll be a reward if you find them all. What is that? Did it seem like... Okay. So I got the one in the bathroom. Got the one behind the fireplace. There's gonna be one under the stairs. One in the factory. And one in the factory but a different area. Okay. There will be a reward for finding... Whoa! Wait, yeah, okay. What is this? I hit a button somewhere. I don't know that I like that. Where is it? Where would it be? Is that it? Yep, cool. That was kind of annoying. Stop kidding yourself. I want them so much. I want to go home. There will be cleaning of this wall required. Yeah, I bet. Alright.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Ta-da!
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
One day. Where is the other spot? Don't go over there, because that's a trap. Unless it changes with the bucket. But I don't want to risk it right now. Kind of in a committed thing right now with this bucket. Where's the factor? Oh, it's probably in the break room, and I can't get to the break room now. Ah, but we can try another one. Alright, so I got the trophy from in here already, so I don't need to worry about that. Any different? Yeah. Still the same. Alright. What's
Stepping
this?
into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
8.
Even now, in his darkest of eyes, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. the bucket would. And he knew it. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Well, it's something. Got the one from over here. Like, I have no way to go back down, right? Kind of just have to finish this off. I don't have to finish it off. Is it the escape room? Yeah. I'm gonna go, yeah, because they already counted all the trophies once you grab them. The next ones are at the warehouse. So I'm gonna take the break room. Apparently there's a trophy where it takes 10 years to get it. It's just don't play the Stanley Parable for about 10 years. That's a wild one. What happened? Ooh. I'm dead? Oh boy. What have I got myself into this time? Are these buttons? Okay. Am I supposed to just turn each one off? Because that's exactly what I'll do. What is this room? There's gotta be some sort of madness, method to the madness. Stanley Parable Heaven Room? Yeah, I'm cheating. What do you want? Okay, absolutely cut that last bit that I said. So Stanley Parable Heaven Room. Yeah, I'm cheating. Oh no. What does this mean? It's an ending that occurs when you give the 5 computers to the main storyline. The ending in this HP remix is okay, but what does it mean? You must approach computers found in locations below, as well as restart the game between each input. Okay, yeah, but I got all that. After the input, Stanley's teleported from his office to a circular room filled with colorful buttons revolving around the center of the room, which is called Heaven. In the background, there's a chorus repeating the words, "Push the button." Oh. You can only exit by resetting the game on your own. With the bucket, well, it's possible to enter Heaven while holding the bucket. Nothing changes. Okay. There's a hole on top of the roof, but it doesn't lead to anything. There are 6 rows of 72 buttons, or exactly 432 buttons. Okay, so there's... you can only exit this ending by resetting the game on your own. Oh wow, I've been pushing buttons and I was just reading, and I totally didn't realize what I was doing. There's a hole up here? I don't see it. Is that it? There's like a little shading there? Alright, well... Does it? I guess it doesn't do anything. Doesn't say anything happens afterwards. So, I did it. But why is it still here? Oh no, bucket! Oh. Okay, yeah, there's nothing there. Yeah, okay. Alright. Good run. Let's see what else. Need to go to the warehouse, collect 2 more trophies. And there's a trophy I will never have the time to do it, but apparently you have to spend the entire you basically have to waste an entire Tuesday on this.
Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Dude, time is an illusion. Alright, can I get up here? Nope. Not yet. Who farted? Who farted? Alright, can I get up here anyway? Nope. Ooh, I didn't know I can crouch. What? Since when? Oh, this is a game changer. I don't know how, but it is. Alright, I guess I can't get there yet. Alright. Ow. My apologies. Gotta turn that off. It's an impulse. Come
The
bucket.
confusion and the chaos
Excuse you?
seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
I know.
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Bucket, you are onto something.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Bucket was not wrong.
Stanley
Do
took
not
the
change
door
the
on his
story.
left to go back to the meeting room.
I ain't going to the meeting room.
Said the
Alright.
bucket.
Gotta
Don't
be
go
really
to the
careful
meeting
here.
room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Oh, what is in there? How come no one said anything about this? Oh. Alright, I'll go in there once I get this trophy. Oh boy. Hang on to me, bucket. I feel like it's easier than I'm making it out to be, but I don't want to risk it. Because I did slip off that first railing.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one. And then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
I know that feeling very well. He said, looking at his collection of everything he owns. Alright, let's see if we can get through that vent, because In all the gameplays I've seen, no one's acknowledged that vent. Could lead to nowhere. What did I do? You guys watching that Backrooms series on YouTube? Yeah, it scares me. Kind of has the same feeling. I can't read that. I could probably find those. I think I've seen those. Oh god. Oh god, it's a thing from the... Oh, no, it's just a flower. Oh, it's a printer. Oh, the door. I forgot to do the door achievement. We'll do that next run around. Huh. Where do I work? Okay, before I touch anything... Okay, there's nothing over here. Nothing over here. Okay. Yeah, for those of you joining us, no, there's nothing scary gonna happen. Oh.
Okay, this is day number 295, tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes.
What?
The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there? Caporata.
What? What was that? That was terrifying. Okay, yeah, that was interesting. Okay, so there's another, trophy here.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he
Sorry,
checked
what?
over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
That's rude of you. I gotta hit this 5 times.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy?
Yep.
Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks? Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes.
Okay.
Almost
You want 50? I'll do 50.
clicks.
Baby, I can do this all night. My stamina is at least at like 50%.
No. I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417. I'll be back to close these computers, but where is... Did he say 427? No. 417. But where... Ah! I'm not going in there. $15, $16. Yeah, that one should be 17. Oh. Dumbass.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
437. Got it. 437. 437. 437. 437. Where's 437?
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415, 415, 415, 415. There it is.
Now, back to door number 437.
437, 437, 437.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
The copy machine? What?
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Okay. Am I the dumbass here?
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
419. 419.
Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
416? Narrator, do you think this is a little too much?
We've almost got it!
Okay.
Now the copy machine, do that one again!
Okay. Any copy machine? I guess it's the only one over there, isn't it?
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430!
Yeah!
Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today.
Yeah, me too. Alright. I was concerned about these computers because they all say the same thing. The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. Wow, all of them are actually turned on. Most of them. The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. Alright, still cannot get up here. Cool. Bucket, accompany me.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
This isn't blocked off anymore? That's weird. Hey, this is my kind of door. Okay. It's never the end. Okay. I need to go back to the warehouse.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
The bucket is never
Stanley
wrong.
took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
But he didn't.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
He didn't say that.
Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Hopefully I won't
Stanley
die.
did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because... But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Okay, that was my bad. I probably should have jumped a little bit before then, I think. So that's on me. And I apologize. I don't apologize. I didn't do anything wrong. Okay. Is there a way I can... Okay. Let's go see if I can do something with that phone.
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
Ooh, I did it. Fellas, get ready to see some shit.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be?
It
Why
is.
don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What
Yeah,
do
me
you
too.
think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Is there a, it's not letting me answer either way.
Then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different?
That's
Would
what I
I
was
have taken
thinking.
the same idea, but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place.
Well, now I'm thinking about it.
Now, think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Oh. Okay. So am I just supposed to just restart now? This is on me? Is there anything else that could possibly happen? No. I think I just have to reset it. Gonna take a look at the... Nah, probably not gonna take a look at it. I think I'll just go ahead and... Ah, here it is, out of map. Because I was gonna read it, hopefully see if I can do anything. Crouch on the top of the desk and walk through the window. Narrator explains, are you sure? If you say yes... Oh. I'll just restart, I assume. No. Stanley. Then he leaves Stanley with the option to come back to choose another option, continue the game, or sit here forever. Yeah, but I should have grabbed the bucket before coming down here. You know what? Let's do this again, but with the bucket, huh? Because I think something happens.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life. Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around.
You can't take my bucket. Alright. Hello? Nope. Over here. Over here. And there we go.
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear.
We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of...
No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like... My God, Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
Bucket. Okay, well, it pays to not really read what you were going. It said with the bucket, and you go down there, something happens, but I didn't read what it was, and that was amazing. Says here, the game resets, but Stanley is not at all perturbed or corrected for picking up the bucket once more. That's funny. Okay.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
It's weird how he changes the story up. Why is that, I wonder? Doop, 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 doop.
The
Bucket?
good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket, off on another thrilling adventure together.
Warehouse.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
I know.
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was it
Yes.
Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was, but Stanley
dang it.
feared that any path he walked
Alright, I went
might
a little...
lead to the separation of himself from the bucket.
I
his dearest
realized
friend.
about...
So he threw himself to it.
Okay, we're just gonna go and restart it. I should have... I was a big dummy there, and I'm not proud enough to admit that, you know what I mean? I don't know. Alright, that's fine. See, I already did 1 trophy, 2 trophy... Like the actual PlayStation trophies. Okay. I hate when it does that. Is that the right time? Looks like it. God, I hate when it does this.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Hey, Bucket.
Where are we going today? The Bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. No, never mind.
No,
The bucket was wrong.
I agree with the
Stanley
bucket.
took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else.
One more time.
The cargo lift, yes. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have, but Stanley feared that any
What am I
path
doing
he
wrong?
walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself
I
to
did
his
it the
death,
one time,
that
if
they
you
might
remember.
die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
My goodness, alright. Oh, there's so many endings. I was looking through. Okay. Yeah, wow.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
I should really just stop trying to turn him off. I don't think there's a trophy.
A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Is it because I have the
Stanley
bucket
had felt
on me?
the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket
Wanna
turned
hear
out to
this?
be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
That's okay.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Don't you put words in.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Sorry.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have, but Stanley feared that any path he walked
Bunch of-
might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Okay. I'm trying to see, because I was able to do it perfectly, but I think it's only because I have the bucket on me. Maybe I shouldn't have the bucket on me, because that might add a little bit of weight to me, but I don't see how that matters. Why would logic make sense up to this point?
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it.
I don't
If
like
he
when you
checked
say
over his
that.
shoulder now, he would surely catch them.
It
was only a matter
scares
of
me when you
time.
say that. Can you not? Thank you. Sorry, I'm like trying to read and do this at the same time. I just don't know if I should take the bucket with me. Trying to find all the trophies, so give me a trophy. Here we go. Okay. Nope, it's not even gonna tell me. Alright. I'm gonna try it without the bucket this time. Just to see if there's a difference.
When Stanley
Maybe
came to a
there's a
set of
difference.
2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but
And I'm dead. Alright. I just have to aim. I think that's it. In which case I'm taking the bucket with me. I'm like so traumatized by...
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
I hate when you do that. I'm so traumatized by Five Nights at Freddy's that, like, I know there's nothing here. But you know, there might be.
Old friend, a weathered companionship that stands the test of time.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but
Yeah.
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Bucket is
Stanley
not
took
wrong.
the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there
What
I
if
need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have, but Stanley feared that any path he walked
Gosh,
might lead to the
dang it.
separation of himself
Alright, I'm
and the
gonna
bucket, his
not
dearest
do
friend.
that.
So he threw
Gonna see if
himself to
there's
his
another
death, that
thing
they
I
might
can
die
try to
in
do.
one another's arms.
Actually, no, I think
How
that's
deeply
probably the
touching.
last achievement. Besides, like, the Tuesday and the 10-year trophy. Go on. What time is it? 19. I think, there's that room again. Call it here in a bit. It's weird how they just, like, shrink the
All of his
rooms.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things.
Gee, thanks.
Stanley
I
clutched the
hope
bucket
so.
tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No,
Yes.
never mind. The bucket was wrong.
I just need to
Stanley
aim
took the
correctly,
door on his
like,
left to
there's...
go back to the meeting room.
No tricks or anything.
No.
said the bucket.
I don't know how I
Don't
did
go
that
to the
first
meeting
time.
room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have allowed it, but Stanley failed.
I'm not crying, you're crying. I'm fine. I'm fine, really, I'm fine. I feel like there's other things. Here, just to like
Stanley
shake
knew
it
the
up,
office
we'll
layout
go
like
ahead
the
and
back
try a
of his
different
hand. It was only a
path
matter of
altogether.
time before he found the others. Not everyone
So I
is so
don't, like,
lucky to
lose
have
my
a bucket,
mind.
but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
See, the room changed color. Out here changed color. Interesting. Ready? Yep. See. Last thing I need to do. See, what's this? What do kind of they look like? Do they kind of look like? Why do they kind of look like? Okay, I think I read that before. Alright, why wouldn't they just tell us something will happen? This investigation, this room, they feel pointless, TBH. Maybe we are the collectibles. Alright, no real new information here from last time. Do I have office for reporting back, find new findings? Help him and post it.
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see? I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, "Ah, it's a bucket." There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Downstairs is loop. Do you think downstairs would be different with bucket? Let's try it. I bet you it might not be.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fined for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
Damn it.
All because he believed
Nothing's
everyone
changed.
had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How
What?
did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all
But it has
terribly wrong.
my name on
Surely
it.
no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed,
What?
now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground.
Oh god, no, I'm doing the floaty thing
He
again.
exclaimed, "Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it." Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
Could it truly be? He rushed
Bucket.
forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley. Find
Bucket.
me.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along.
Bucket?
It was incredibly painful.
Ow.
Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Alright, well, certainly a different ending. Kind of. Oh, hello everyone. Didn't realize there's people watching. I'm not trying to 100% the game, but I'm trying to? I don't know. I'm just fucking around until like I
All of his co-workers
find
were gone.
different
What could
things,
it
I
mean?
guess.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. It takes a lot of humility to carry a
Appropriate,
bucket
Stanley.
so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded onward.
Okay, so where did I go?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered
Downstairs.
the door on his left.
So then if I do... There's like so many endings, and like I feel like I keep bumping into like the same
This
six.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room?
Of course.
Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Alright, I'll give it one more shot. Just one more
No.
shot.
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else.
Yeah, I know, I know, I know.
Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top.
Crap,
There's
how
something
do I
up
do
there I
this?
need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. But Stanley feared
Bunch
that
of
any party...
balls. Alright. I'm gonna be doing that all night. Unless everyone finds that entertaining. Just a constant loop of me jumping.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley cradled the bucket in a gentle embrace.
It's my bucket.
Protective, yet Stanley clutched the bucket
Alright,
tightly
I'm
to his
gonna go
chest.
this way, but I'm gonna
This was
try
not
to
the
go
correct
through
way
the
to meeting
maintenance
room.
door.
But Stanley had
Haven't
felt
been
the
in there
bucket
for a
calling
minute,
to him,
so
telling him that the employee lounge was simply the
we'll
place to be.
see what
And
we can
here it
do.
was. Had
There
the bucket
with the
turned out to be
bucket.
correct? Was no.
Because
Never
I think
mind.
things
The bucket was wrong.
go differently with the bucket.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Bye! Oh.
Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
What is this? Narrator?
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley.
What?
We've come together here because we care about you very much.
Huh?
It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere.
What about
The
it?
bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it.
Who's even
Don't
this
you
guy?
want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Whoa. Is this the adventure line? Should I just follow it? Catherine? Computer. Alright.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Are we gonna go defeat Sephiroth? Hell yeah. Where is this? Oh
Now,
yeah.
this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue? Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
What?
It's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
What's that? I'm literally following the line. I'm not meaning to. Oh wait, let me see this legend. Where's it? Sorta. There's a very long adventure line. TM. What? Better not be an animatronic in here. Better not be the Baba Yaga in here.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
I don't like it.
Can you guess what the bucket destroyer does? Sure, you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Fuck you. I'm just gonna...
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the bucket destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the bucket destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of bucket destroyer
you don't even like the broom
fans
closet.
will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the bucket destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the bucket destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and... The bucket destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend.
Goodbye.
For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Truly a character of legend. I hated that guy. Load. Ah, the old office. Okay. Alright, just because we're having a little bit of fun, I'm going to go ahead and
all of his co-workers
probably call it at 11, maybe?
Stanley decided
depending
to go
however
to the meeting room. Perhaps
this
he had
next
simply
one
missed a
lasts.
memo.
I like work. I just hate my boss. Well, that's rude.
Stanley's bucket, the only co-worker he would ever truly need.
Truly. Fellas, if you're not a buckethead right after this game, I don't know what to tell you.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Because if I go down that way... What? Alright, you know what, let's go give it another shot.
The correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had
we'll
felt
give it
the
a shot and then
bucket
we'll try a
telling
different
him
path.
that the
And then we'll just do that
employee
pattern.
was simply the place to be. And here it was.
Because
Had the bucket turned
I
out
don't
to be
understand
correct?
it.
Was no.
I was able to
Mind.
jump the first
The
time,
bucket was wrong.
and I made it.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Do you think I have to crouch? Maybe that's
No,
the trick.
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
If I like... Maybe? Let's try that. Okay. That could be like a jump.
Good.
said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him.
And I'm dead. Alright. Good. Good. I was on to something, though. I just think that I also need to be at a certain level in order to make that jump. But I think if I do the crouch jump, might work. Because again, this game has no jump button. So, that's interesting.
All of his co-workers were gone.
So if
what
you
could it mean?
didn't
Stanley
catch
decided
it,
to go
I
to the
did like a
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
2-hour
missed a memo.
run earlier today, and I did a big chunk of things there. Should still be on my channel. If you want to check that out. That's where we got introduced to the bucket, I
without the
think?
bucket really Stanley at all? No. No, surely not.
Whoa. Wait. Is this right? Shouldn't there be a... That one is off. Okay. We're just not gonna... Yeah? Nothing? Alright. You're just doing this to scare me. I see what you're doing. I see you.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Let's see. The room gets really suspicious every time I enter it. Is there any tips? Any tips you can tell me about jumping? The F files. Yeah, I have to go, that's the red and blue, it's a red and, once I jump over, it's a room where the narrator tells you to either choose a blue or a red door that he invents. But then there's another room, doorway there that I can take, and that's where the trophy is.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
Well, can I still hang out here, or... Fine. Let's go upstairs.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dump, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? This is certainly the most logical explanation.
I gotta do some runs without the bucket just to see if anything else changes. Also, still no infinite hole. That's disappointing. Thought I'd be seeing that soon. Again, there's a... It's in the other gameplay I did. Played around with an infinite hole. Lost my mind for a minute there. Shan't be doing it again.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Don't worry, Bucket.
At this
I'll
point,
protect
Stanley
you.
and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Nah, I'll be fine. It'll be fine. What was that? Did you see that? It's probably like a pipe or something, I don't know. Oh. Ow. Ow. I don't think I was supposed to be looking that direction when it happened. Okay, so...
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he
bucket.
sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Well, god dang it.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the
You
enormous
again.
metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
Whoop. Okay, so far it's the same, except the bucket is acknowledged.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above
God.
the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Okay, so instead of the museum, we get a bucket memoriam. The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You're standing at the principle of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within a cavernous void. But throughout the use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and sustained. Knowledge of this bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we will really have. Will you take what you learned here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind that may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change your lives? Will you change your lives of yourselves and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in the ignorance of darkness? I don't know, let's give it a shot. Is this
Can
just
you
a
see
bucket
how
museum?
arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see
Bucket.
the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
She's right. I'm gonna wait. What is that? There's a way up there. Interesting. That is not 25 buckets. Here's number of buckets ever captured on camera. Really? The fighter experienced cardiac shock for several weeks as a result of euphoria from exposure of these many buckets at once. Wow, that sure is a lot of 25 buckets. bucket with 2 handles. That's ridiculous. This bucket is having 2 handles. As such, the design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and too reckless experiment. Actually, no, you know what? I think I do. You must remember. There are buckets with like 2 sides with them. I'm sure I've seen them. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. Okay. Bucket Inferno. Replica Bucket Inferno. Inferno Bucket. I've been reading it backwards. Thank you, dyslexia. Which in medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet, in spite of it all, the simple fact remains: no one can control the bucket. Until now? Fine. Ooh. Okay.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Yeah. Blue. I don't know what those are. The hanging bucket. You probably want me to jump? Is that the infinite hole? I'll try it once I go back down there, because I'm pretty sure I missed a couple of areas that I want to check out before jumping to my death. Then after that, I think we should call it a night, because I do have work in the morning. This piece symbolizes a necessary bucket of humanity, however, clear. Oh, right, okay. I will be back over here, because I'm pretty sure that's how I get out of here. That's a real bucket. Presented without commentary. Oh. I will jump into. Oh, okay. That's it. That's in the exhibit. Okay. Well, guess I'm just gonna have to jump. Whoa! Wait. Oh man! Looks like I'm gonna have. Hold on. Oh no, the cheat! There's a giant bucket over there, and I can't get it. Looks like I'm gonna have to jump. Oh. I was getting ready to die, but, sure.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world.
Bucket, you wouldn't.
Vision.
Bucket, you... I think that was it. I don't know, should I do one, should I try, doing the jump one more time? Before we head out? Also, after this game, I think I'm gonna definitely be starting The Walking Dead, the Telltales game.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he
Stop
checked
it.
over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time. As Stanley lifted his bucket, he felt a connection to all buckets everywhere. This adventure, he decided, was for all of them. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
I looked down for a second and got confused. Alright.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this
Like
better
it's your
than the
fault
meeting
for,
room?
like, locking the door
Yes,
behind
Stanley
me.
thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it true. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go
See if I
back to
do
the meeting
jump.
room.
That's kind of a jump, right? Crouching?
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting
Alright.
room. Go somewhere else.
This one's for the gold,
cargo
everybody.
Lift, yes.
We're gonna
Go
do
there.
this.
Go to the cargo lift.
It's gonna be for all the shillings, all the rupees, all the pokey coins. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this, you and me. Is that a balloon up there? That's funny. A couple balloons up there. Alright. Alright, here we go. Wait, go like that. Can we go like that? See, if I just do that, that would be fine, because I think I can make it if I run like that, but it's not gonna let me. Alright. Alright.
Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him.
And I'm dead.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Well, that was great. I'm glad I did that. Alright. But I think that's what I'm gonna call it. It's already super late. I was gonna try to watch the new Stranger Things. It is sweet, isn't it? Me and the bucket have formed such a relationship. Yeah, definitely work time. So, yeah. I think next time I come back I might finish it off. I don't know. There's not a lot I really have to do. I have most of the trophies I can get to, except for that stupid one I can't seem to get to. So if not, I think I'll just do The Walking Dead, because it does that like series thing. We'll eat beans and hot pockets for the final stream. What, for this one? For Stanley? Yeah, okay. I'd be down. I'd be down to do that.
All of his co-workers
I don't know why
were gone. What could it mean?
Came out. I didn't
Stanley
mean to come
decided
out.
to go to the meeting
But
room.
I'm just gonna go ahead and do
Perhaps he
this
had
real
simply missed
quick.
a memo. At first,
So yeah.
Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration
this should be
and
good, right?
realized it was
Yeah.
part of the
I'm
game's design
exhausted.
all
I think
along.
that's.
He then
I'm up
praised
to the
the
point
game
where
for
I'm just
its
exhausted and I
insightful
don't want to
witty
hear this
commentary
narrator
into the
talk
nature of
anymore, and I don't know
video
why I
game
did this.
structure and its
Kidding.
examination
I'm
of
kidding.
structural narrative tropes.
Here, I'll let you
So,
listen to this.
Now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
It's the opposite of what I wanted to do.
There once was a man named Stanley.
Oh.
Who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly.
Hey.
What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable, and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. You too will become quite unbearable.
Is that it? He's still strumming the guitar, so I'm figuring he's still gonna say some more, but probably not. Alright. Yeah, that was a good ending for this stream. Yeah. Would you guys want me to finish it up? Because that'd be kind of fun. If not, the next thing is probably going to be The Walking Dead. I keep repeating myself. Alright. I was just waiting to see whether or not he'd say anything else. It doesn't seem like it's happening. Yeah. Alright. I'll talk to you guys later. I'll catch you on the flip side.